Hey, Jeff, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Just real quick, how was your week of practice? I know it was a short week this week. Were you happy?
Yeah, it was. I thought we had about as good a week as you could practice. We got in a lot of work. We got right back at it. I think our guys have done a good job, and we know we got to go play a game and try to win it at a place that we haven't done very well at.
How do you think the team will respond coming off its first loss of the year?
Well, we'll see. I'm very optimistic that our guys have shown a lot of maturity. They've worked hard. They put in the work, and now it's about going out and executing. So I think, anytime you get on the game field, you never really know for sure exactly what's going to happen. But I know our guys have prepared hard this week. They want to win. It's important to them. I'm very, optimistic that we're going to go out and play hard and try to find a way to win.
Weather looks like it's going to be in the 30s and dry. Are you ready to play in the cold?
Well, I would hope so. We practice in it a lot. The spring we practice in it a lot. And we put our stuff in the elements. So now it's just a matter of concentrating and locking down and focusing in and going out and blocking that out and playing. But we have put in a lot of practice in weather conditions since last year.
Hey, talk about your first plane trip of the season, Jeff. You took a bus to Illinois. Now you guys are taking a plane. Talk about maybe some of the protocols and whatnot you're going through to deal with that.
Well, I don't think it'll be too much different. We got to wear the mask and we got to do some things where, maybe not having a bag checked on the plane. It's got to be underneath. And, I'm sure, we'll take all the precautions we can, and then at the hotel, take all the precautions we can to make sure that, we're keeping guys safe. And that will be very important, not only for this week, but moving forward as well.
Can you give us any update on maybe seeing George Karlaftis this week?
Well, I wish I could. I'm optimistic that we're going to get a few guys back, and we'll see come game time how that plays out. But I am optimistic we'll get some guys back.
Rondale Moore, one of those guys.
Well, like I said, I don't want to say any names, but we'll see. Come Friday.
Hey Jeff, are you tired of the Rondale Moore questions?
I understand, and I'm open to any questions anyone asks. I totally understand all of them, so I'll give you the best answer I can on all these questions.
All right, well, we appreciate it. Said to ask Jeff. Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
Okay, Carm.
Well, okay, to follow up on that, why do you guys release he's not going to play every week?
Why do we release he's not going to play?
Right.
I guess to alert you guys that he's not going to play.
But you don't do that with any other player.
Well, I guess you guys ask about him a lot. So we cannot release it every week if you want.
No, it's fine. I was more curious of why you guys chose to handle it that
well, I think our PR department's trying to be nice and make sure that you guys get the information, but I don't want to speak for them.
Okay. Again, I was just curious. How did Aiden look this week in practice?
You know what? He's a guy that will be a game time decision as well.
Is that based on anything that happened last week in the game or the Illinois game?
That's all I can tell you right now.
Okay. I did want to ask, Paul Hornung passed away. He's from Louisville. I mean, did you listen to stories from Oscar about Paul Hornung at the dinner table growing up? And, how was he revered in Louisville?
I actually had a good relationship with Paul, and not only knew all the stories from my father, who went to the same high school as Paul, but also my college coach, Coach Snellberger, was a teammate of Paul. So really, when I was a player at the University of Louisville, Paul Hornung came back to Louisville, lived there, did a lot of different things, had his own TV show, and was involved with a lot of activities, came over and worked at our facility, hung out with our players. And so I was around him quite a bit. And he was exactly, what you see is what you get. Had a great personality, had a smile on his face. One of those guys that liked the limelight, liked to be around people, accomplished a tremendous amount, was probably one of the most versatile athletes to ever play the game. And this is a big guy. This is not an average small guy that you think of when you think of a versatile player. This was a big, strong athlete, that did a lot of great things, but I think his persona and his legacy will live on. And I was happy to experience and share in some of all the stories that he told us and talked about. But really, just his personality was engaging, and it was somebody that you wanted to be around. So he'll be a legend, especially in that area, but really across the country, and somebody that won the Heisman on a team that didn't have a winning record, and just really did a lot of great things. So I know he'll be tremendously missed.
Did you try to model your football game after him in any way?
Well, I was actually, even though I don't have a lot of hair, I didn't see him play other than on some video, growing up, and really he became a running back at the NFL level. Was a great athlete. I wouldn't say I modeled my game after him, but I definitely loved all the video that I saw him play, and the fact that he could play quarterback and running back and kicker. That's hard to do, and I don't think you ever see that happen in the game anymore. So I think anybody who wants to try to be a great athlete can not easily, but would definitely want to model their game after Paul.
Back to the quarterback. If Aiden can't go, is Jack the next man up?
Yeah, Jack will be the next man up. Austin Burton right behind him.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, Dakota?
I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay, Alex?
Yeah, thank you for your time today, Coach. Based on film this past week, what's been the most impressive thing about the Minnesota team going into Friday?
Minnesota had a tremendous year last year. You don't go 11-2 and then beat Auburn in a bowl game without not doing a lot of great things. So, these guys have some really good players coming back. They know how to win. They're going to be playing at home. They're going to be very hungry. They just happened to get in a few games this year where they got down, and it was hard to kind of climb out of that hole, and that can happen to anybody. So, this season, there's a lot to play for. There's a lot left on the line, and this is going to be a very tough game for us. And, we're playing a team that knows how to win and has done that. So I'm sure they're going to be extremely hungry, and they're going to fight like heck to win, and we're going to have to match that intensity.
With Muhammad Ibrahim having such success, is he going to be the reason you sell out for the run, or is Rashad Bateman still a threat you were looking at?
You got to be careful. They got two really great players, two NFL players, and a good quarterback as well that can give them the ball. So, you can't really do one or the other. You've got to make sure that you account for both of those guys, and that's hard to do. So I think we'll have a good plan together, and stopping both of those guys is going to be important. It's going to be important that our entire team plays well, and we find a way to execute on offense. We find a way to get some points. Special teams, get us an edge somehow. But having two weapons, one in the running game and passing game of that talent, is a tough combination.
Are you going to go back to pushing Xander after the performance against Northwestern wasn't the most ideal kind of game, or is it going to be passed forward now?
Well, when you say push him, you're meaning what?
Sorry, are you going to try and push more runs, or is it going to be a pass-heavy game? Is what I mean. Well,
no. In a perfect world, we'd like to have a lot more runs and be successful doing it and get yards. So that's the goal, and it's always going to be the goal to have balance and to make sure that we try to be good at both. The one thing I can say about Xander last game, we didn't get much push on the line of scrimmage. We weren't able to knock him back, but we found ways to get him 100 yards receiving. So I do think that we did find ways to get him the ball, and he produced. So, yeah, in a perfect world, we were going to rush for over 200, throw for over 300. Yeah, that'd be great, and we're going to strive to do that every game. But, we'll see how the game goes, and adjust from there. But originally, yes, we want to have great balance.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, everybody, we'll talk to you from Minneapolis.
Thank you.